value of the front node in the queue. So how it can be accessed? Now it will be accessed by this pointer pfront. So value at location 1000 is equals to 0. So the array of 0th location is the value of the front node. So the num will be the array of 0. 0 means what? This is a front node. How this 0 we are getting? With this front variable, and this front variable is accessed by this pointer. So what we can write, instead of array 0, we have to write num equals to array, then value at location 1000, because this 1000 location, the value, and that will be the index for the array element, which is the front node of the list. Now value at 1000, it is just for this diagram. So what is this 1000? 1000 means this pointer pfront. So what will be your code? Here will be num equals to array at the location, the index of the array is stored at location pfront. So this is the code. Now we can omit this part. So what is the code? Now num equals to array value at location pfront. That means array element of value at location 1000, and value at location 1000 is equals to 0. So num is getting the value of array 0. That means num is getting the value 10 here. So after that we have to place a 0. The node which has been deleted, at that place we will place a 0. So how it can be placed? Similar, that array value at location pfront equals to 0. So we are placing 0 to it. 10 has been extracted to front node, and at that place we are placing 0. Now front variable will be incremented by 1, because now 20 is the first element in the queue. So instead of pointing this 0th element, now the front variable will point to second element in the, which is now the first element or front node in the queue. So value of the front variable is modified from 0 to 1. So what we have to do? Now we have to value at location 1000 will be incremented by 1. So value at location pfront is plus plus incremented by 1. When this is written, then the deletion operation has been performed, and as the previous front node has been deleted, so front variable has been modified so that it points to the next element in the queue, which will be the current front node in the queue. So now these total things will be done inside a function, and in that function what the parameter we have to pass. So that means how to declare that function. The function will not return anything, it will just insert a new node into the front location. No, it will not insert, it will delete the front node from the queue. So in that case, what it will, now after this deletion, the value is stored in variable num, and then we will return this value, that return num. This is the code which we have to write. So the function is that, so how that function will be written? So function will be written like that. It is returning integer type of variable value, and the function name is suppose dlq. And for this operation, as this operation is done on an array which is representing a queue, we have to pass the base address of the array to access any element in this array. That means to access any element in the queue. So here I have to pass the base address of our array. So that will be that parameter we are passing will be a pointer, integer pointer, because array, this is storing only integer value. Suppose integer pointer array. And next here what we are using, num is the local variable. So there the value what is extracted from the front end, that is getting stored. So inside the function we have to declare this int num, but as a parameter we have to pass the value of pfront. Pfront is what? Now pfront is storing the address of the front variable, which will be declared. This front variable will be declared in the main function. So we have to pass the address of this front variable, which is, and this pointer variable is named as pfront. So it is an integer pointer. So we have to pass another parameter, integer pfront. So from this code, it is clear that only for this code only two parameters we need to pass, that is the base address of the array and the front pfront, which contains the address of the front variable. So for this diagram, for this scenario, only this parameter is enough to pass, so that the that will be passed to the function, which will delete the front node from the queue. Okay, now this is one scenario. Next we come to the next case. What is that? Suppose the queue is empty. So if queue is empty, then what will be the condition of the array element? Suppose these 5 elements queue, size of the queue is 5. So array size is 5. The name of the array is same as it is, which is of 5 elements. And here as the queue is empty, so all of the array locations are filled by 0, and there is front variable and there will be rear variable, and as the this all nodes are empty in this queue, so front and rear will not point to any of the, will not contain any index from 0 to 4. So it will be arbitrarily maybe -1, -1. That is both front and rear. Front variable used to point the front node, and rear variable is to point the rear node in the queue. As the queue is empty, so they will, front and rear variable will contain invalid value, that is like -1, -1. So this is another case when the queue is empty. When the queue is empty, how to know that whether queue is empty? When front and rear, front or rear, anyone equals to -1, that means the queue is empty. So and when the queue is empty, then if we try to delete any element, then it would not be possible. So in that case we have to display proper message that queue is empty.